person or other entity considering an appeal should consult with an attorney to ensure that time and procedure requirements are met. And then pursuant to T.C.A. 844-12, time is reserved at the beginning of the library board meetings for which there's an actionable item on the agenda for public comment germane to items on the agenda. Up to 5 people will be allowed up to 3 minutes each to speak. Speakers must register within 1/2 hour prior to the beginning of the meeting by signing their name on a physical sign-up sheet available at the entrance and identifying any agenda item on which they intend to comment. So, Steve, I give you the floor for 3 minutes.
Thank you very much.
Can you come to one of the...
make sure that you start timing?
Okay.
Who's going to start
Susan.
Susan's going to time, okay?
Okay, thank you very much.
Thanks for being here.
Thank you very much. Good to see everybody. I have a concern today. I reviewed the agenda that was on the website, and it stated that it was June, not July. And so I'm here today to speak out and say the action items that are there, I'm asking for a deferral because I don't believe there was adequate public notice. You simply cannot go out there and have the agenda updated on the day of the meeting. I know I guess there's an attorney here, a reasonable person standard. You have to give adequate notice. When I reviewed the website yesterday, all I saw was the June one. I brought that to the attention of everybody here today. And I put out in your packet today, I see an agenda, July 21st. And if you look at here, it says the next scheduled Board of Trustees meeting is July 21st, 2026. Because all they did was change the agenda for today. They overlooked this part right here. Mm-hmm. So that to me is evidence that there was certainly at least a clerical error. Now, I'm not here to assign blame today.
Yeah.
I don't care about that. I love the library. But I have to have reasonable notice if there's action items. And I don't believe that happened today. Now, I did talk with IT, and they said they reviewed their logs, and they could not find what I was saying. But I know what I saw yesterday. And I think I'm pretty credible. I don't make up things. So, respectfully, I'm asking for a deferral on the action items today. If you want to have a special meeting, because I know you don't meet in August. But I just think it's important to have reasonable notice for everybody in the room to know. I'm really big on transparency in government. It's one of my biggest items. And public records requests and everything else are really important to me. So when I see something like this, I wasn't expecting to be here today, but I felt that I had to. So I'll leave it at that. And thank you very much. Appreciate it.
I just want to thank you for coming, because I know that you are a very big advocate for the library, and I know that you are always monitor process and procedures. And we did have someone to call IT, and they're saying that you want to just come to the mic and say and identify yourself and tell them what IT said.
Thank you for having me. I'm Cameron McCaslin from NECAT. We did call before this meeting and confirm with Randall Williams from ITS that there had been no changes. Everything had been posted a week ago, the same way that the library does every single time before this meetings. I called and confirmed that with Chris Singleton at ITS, so we had 2 different checks over there, both saying that everything had been done on the up and up in the same way that we always have. So I'm not sure where the discrepancy is.
So let me say this to the board as far as the agenda is concerned. And I kind of like to have, if you all will agree with me, I like to have plan A and plan B to, so if we have to meet again, then we can, but if we don't have to meet, then we don't have to. And I know that there's one program here, Water Walkers, who won't be able to continue its after-school program unless we approve their contract. So can I ask that we go ahead and vote on the agenda items for which we need to vote. And Steve, you have the right, as we said before, you have the right to appeal, any decision of the board. I think you have that right. And so if we have to meet again, I think we're willing to meet again. And what do you all think? Discussion?
Madam Chair, I think you're coming up with the right solution. I do think, and I don't know, I know you, Steve, have been very clear, and you said it twice, and I really appreciate it, that your goal here is not to assign blame.
Mm-hmm.
And my understanding, if I'm correct, is that, in fact, the correct agenda was put on the website with formal notice.
Correct.
There was, though, something incorrect in that agenda, and that is that the next meeting is today. But if, in fact, the members of the public did have a chance to read what we were going to discuss today a week in advance. And yes, there was an error, and I appreciate
Next meeting should say September and the date, but everything else was included on that the week before.
And I do think that all of the board received the agenda in timely manner, and it was distributed to the city to post during this thing. And so the only incorrect thing is the next scheduled
which is
Board of
September.
Trustees meeting. Okay.
I think your solution, Joy, seems reasonable, and thank you for accommodating what is this date error.
And I think you're holding people
that if it
accountable.
happens, I do it about 10 times a day.
Okay.
Anything else?
So we,
Just want to make sure, answer any questions or anything else at this point. I'm going to step back.
okay, step back and do your job.
Thank you both.
So what we'll do is vote on everything, Steve, and then the attorney will figure out, do we need to meet again? And we'll vote again. Okay? So we'll do A and B. And if A vote and then B, they'll ask us about, you can find out.
Just to be clear, we have confirmed with ITS that the agenda was posted on the 14th. It has not been altered or accessed in any way that ITS can trace since the 14th when it was originally posted. While the agenda itself does have a clerical error on the very bottom, the agenda itself at the top does correctly identify today's date, today's meeting, today's time, place, and the actual action agenda items for the record.
Remember that anyone can appeal. Okay, that's
I don't
everybody.
think that's a ground for an appeal, but that's okay.
Sorry, Steve, what did you say?
I don't think that's necessarily a ground for appeal. I can only get you to go out there and not go forward with those action items.
But I think probably,
Because we have a factual dispute is really what we have.
yeah.
And so I'm saying that it was not properly posted. We had Metro Legal saying it was. I disagree with that. I would ask in the minutes of the meeting that it said that, not that I had spoken, that I actually raised an objection. So
Right.
I'd like the content in there, please.
Okay.
Because there's sometimes when Metro Legal goes out there, they just say Steve Ryder spoke without the content of my objection.
Okay. And so I'm going to ask Emily
capture
over here to
that.
make sure to note that. in the
Yes,
agenda.
I do want the record to be clear that Metro Legal does not prepare the meeting
Right,
minutes.
right. The
library
agenda is
does.
always prepared in the director's office, and it's distributed to all the board members and distributed for posting, for public posting. And so what we're hearing is that the agenda was posted correctly. The next scheduled Board of Trustees meeting was that there was a clerical error. So again, I think what we need to do is just vote on the items. We'll make sure that the minutes reflect Steve's comment with context. And then if we are required to meet again, then we can do that. Okay?
No objections.
Okay, thank you. Comments, as far as my comments are concerned, I want to thank everyone for contributing to Terry's evaluation. I'm drinking a Coke, so I'm burping my body. I shouldn't be doing that. It won't come up. Anyway, Terry, that's why you shouldn't eat or drink when you're doing something. But so Terry's evaluation, we completed that. And what I did was to give to Susan all of your comments verbatim. And so Terry has a copy of all of those comments. And I did sort of a summary of your comments for the actual evaluation with not evaluation, but I took all of the ratings and did an average of those ratings and submitted those. Okay, any questions about the evaluation? Okay, thank you. And then summer reading. I just want to thank the staff. I mean, you all are on it. And I will tell you something. Yesterday, the mayor spoke at Rotary for our lunch meeting. And at that meeting, Margaret Bim was there, and we were talking outside, and she said, I've never heard the mayor say so much about the library in his comments. But he talked about summer reading. He talked about the number of people who were coming to the library. He talked about Begin Bright and the folks coming to collections. So I sat there beaming, and I was sitting near the front. So he said, yes, Joyce. So he confirmed that he was seeing a smile on my face. So just thank you all for the work, and just to know that everybody's hearing it. Everybody's hearing about it. He talked about the amount of money that the city had been investing in different things, and one of the investments was Begin Bright and why. So it was great. It was great. There is an opportunity for us to attend a national conference. I think there's a board meeting. Everything's online for one day. So make sure you let Emily know, because she has to go ahead and make our reservations for that meeting.
Just
Make
ended
sure,
today.
and everything is online. We have to know today about that. I think that's it for my comments. Let's see. Next, we have the approval of the minutes for June 26th. They were distributed.
So moved.
June 16th.
What did I say? June 16th.
Since we're having to think about dates today.
Chavez has made a motion to approve the minutes from our last meeting. You're seconding that? Okay, Katie's seconding. No additions, corrections. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposition? The minutes of the June 16th meeting have been approved. Okay, Terri.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. I just want to thank you for all the amazing comments that you and thought that you put into my evaluation. To have the board's support just means the world to me. And so just excited to go forward with another new year with an incredible team and an incredible staff and the support of the board and the foundation. I want to go back to Joyce's comments about the mayor. It was amazing to me. I had my quarterly meeting with him, and he was super excited about the fact that, you can go to each branch and get a card, a collectible card at each location. And he is like, I'm going to each branch to get my card. And I was like, okay. But yeah, so I am like amazed at every single place that he is and how much he talks and loves the library. So with that $5.8 million historic budget that we got in 4% this year for collections and materials, I'm happy to report that two library managers emailed me on Friday to say, because one of the things I asked collections team was to please take this last $2 million and really invest it in our print collection, because that was my goal. We do so much with our, ebooks and our waiting lists and everything like that, that our print materials in the branches have suffered over the last, years. And so several managers actually emailed to say that not only are they noticing, but their customers have commented that they are so excited they could see the difference. And we're really, I know. So it was at Madison and Bordeaux that they both said they took the time to email me on Friday to let me know. So just really excited about the fact that, and then they also have new board games that are going out, and one of the displays highlighted and faced out new board games. It's a very popular, people come in, check out the games, and then bring them back and check out a new one. So just wanted to acknowledge that we're just really grateful for the investment in the library, but specifically the collection.
So the board games and everything?
Yes. Board games. We have the vinyl, the LP collections that are at certain locations, and she's actually expanding that. But, this has really given us, and, again, thank you. Sean went with me to meet with the mayor about collections because, the foundation is helping us. So this year in our FY27 budget, we have $500,000 from the foundation, along with the state library money, does give Noelle over the $7 million, which is what she has said for a library our size. That is what she needs to not only maintain the collection, but now to add to the collection. So just, that's like my happy place. Collection's super important to me. So anyways, but, and then when I just met with the mayor, we talked about Begin Bright, gave him an update. He's very invested in that program as well. So things are really moving forward with that. So my notes for today, I just have a couple of things that the admin team has been working on. Each August, I go now to meet with the mayor, and we have to have our key strategies outlined for the library. So the admin team, over the last month, we've been working on those. Emily and I finalized those yesterday afternoon for my meeting with the mayor on August 13th. So once she has the document edited, we'll go ahead and send that out to you all so that you can look at that and see what are we focusing on, whether it's the continuous improvement plan, whether it's the customer experience survey. All of those things are part of our key strategies. So I need to go over with him what did we, is there anything we didn't accomplish last year, and then what are we looking forward to for this year? So I do that on the 13th. I'm also excited to say that at the end of the fiscal year, Sean was able to give me some extra funds that I was pleasantly, I wasn't expecting those, but I told her that I had things that I couldn't fund unless it was funded by the foundation. So with that, we were able to give some money to collections, especially for foreign language materials. We were also able to hire I've never hired a consultant before, but for the customer experience survey, the last part of it, Chantel has worked with this company. They're called InPower. They are going to do the focus groups for us with different, not only different languages, but also different populations. And then they are going to provide dashboards, and they will also provide a presentation to the board. We should have all of this wrapped up by the end of November. I was able to do that, and then our master facility plan is from 2019, and I could not, with everything else that's on Susan's plate, expect her to do a master facility plan. So we have hired Maureen Arndt from, we're used to working with her. She's on the Richland Park project, but we've also done focus groups with our public with her. She owns her own architectural firm, and so she will be working with Susan and a core group of staff on our master facility plan. And so I'm really excited about that because I did not think that we were going to be able to do that so soon. And then we're also going to replace our oldest puppet truck. I know. So we had one that was 25 years old, and then now this other one is 25 years old. So those are both being replaced and will be out on the road. So kudos to, thank you to the foundation. And then Brett Wilson will be, he went out and purchased the last one. And so we'll be excited to get that second puppet truck out on the road. And Susan worked with General Services so we could incorporate the second puppet truck into their fleet outside of the normal, like usually you have to wait till July 1st. And because it's a foundation funded, not a Metro funded vehicle, we're able to put that into the fleet sooner rather than later. So just lots of really good things. Any questions so far? Okay, the next thing, Susan and I just found out last week, we normally present our capital spending plan for our requests for building projects, maintenance, and collections in September, but finance is going to do that sooner rather than later. So Susan and I will be doing that Monday, August the 3rd. So we've started working on it, and then we're going to meet tomorrow to try to finalize our request. We're not going to change a lot. You know, it'll be still moving forward with Hadley Park, Richland Park, Smith Springs, those things that were already part of what our request was, but now we'll have to ask for like construction funds, not just design development funds. So I'll bring that to you once we finalize that this week. I think, let's see. Oh, I did not want to not say this. For those of you that know Marion Chrisman, she is getting ready to retire at the end of July, and she has just been such an asset to this library system. I don't even have the words. And so on Friday, this past Friday, we were able to do her last cyber seniors graduation, and there was not a dry eye in the house, including mine, and you all know how often I cry. So honestly, Cyber Seniors is one of my favorite events that I get to attend every year, and just to watch those seniors in their cap walk into pomp and circumstance, and then for them to, there were 3 testimonials. One of them was former Deputy Mayor and Brenda Haywood. For those of you that know and love her, and then they actually get their diploma and their tablet. And what really was funny was one of the guys said, at first when he went to the class, I'm just doing this because I want to get a tablet. And then he said he learned so much that, to just sit and listen to them was really remarkable. And again, that's another foundation-funded program that we're fortunate to have because of those funds. I mean, I don't know that we could afford to buy all those tablets and to watch their families be part of all that and enjoy lunch with them. I just wanted to say thank you to Marion, and like I said, her last day will be next week, next Friday. So, any other questions?
Yes, on the master facility plan.
Yes.
Does this also include new potential locations?
Yeah. So, Susan, do you want to talk about what you include in the master facility plan?
What it's going to be based on, the previous one was based on the Nashville Next. So looking at areas that already had facilities that needed to be updated and looking at growth areas that potentially would need a new library in the coming years. And we'll be doing basically the same thing. We'll be updating all the data because that was from 2014 data going through 2040. And so it may change some. It may be shifted around because of demographics. There could be more people going into an area than they previously thought, that kind of thing. But it will include potential areas for new branches, not necessarily specific locations.
Absolutely.
So,
Yes.
So how does that work? Like potential areas, and then how
Can
do
you
you?
speak in your mic so we can
Yeah,
hear you?
how do you winnow down to actual locations?
well, actual locations will depend on where we can find property in the future. Because, for example, we have a Briley, Thompson Lane kind of area. So it's a general area, but there's no specific locations, and it's several years down the road, that kind of thing. Same process. It'll depend. We know we need to be within this 3 to 5 mile area. We can look for property at the time, 2035, we'll be looking for something, whatever.
Right.
So,
You were about to say something, Katie?
Real quickly, I just want to echo and thank you for what you said about Marion, and I want to echo and say the same thing. It is one of my favorite programs. One, because it's so effective, and it is so moving to go to the graduation, but also it is such an example of our library seeing and meeting a need in the community outside of the walls of the library. And it just makes me really proud that we've continued that and that we can continue to get funding. Thank you to the foundation. I just think it's a great program. And it wouldn't be as great as it is if Marion hadn't led it from day one.
So who follows in her footsteps?
I know. I was just going to say, Linda oversees that program, and with Nick.
No pressure.
Nick, who's in studio. So we were saying on what's today's Tuesday, yesterday morning, no pressure. The bar has been set, but definitely, Linda's really good at that, at hiring people and then also mentoring and coaching them once they come. So I think the biggest thing this person will really need to have is a love of seniors and patience, which Marion definitely did. And I think that program now, Nick, who oversees studio, will be over digital literacy or digital inclusion and adult literacy. That was Linda's idea, and so we combined under that umbrella. So they'll all be working together, which I think will also add another nice element to what we already have.
Probably the newest thing, the incorporation of AI into what they're learning.
We have a system task force that, yep.
We're all learning it. Were you about to say something, Mr. AI? Mr. Tech? I was reading your face.
No comment.
Travis has no comment. We have no comment.
Okay. So the last two just items would be that, remember, you don't have a meeting in August. And then what we'd like to do is in October and Emily will send all this to you, but to have the meeting at the main library, because we are going to do, Brett and Linda have been working on a recognition for Tom Titchener. There's going to be a historical marker, so that we'd like to have the meeting in October there at the main library, and we'll work out all the parking and everything like that. But just know that Emily will be sending out that to be at Maine.
Okay, you brought it up, parking. Any news?
Well, I sent an email to everybody on Sunday. Yeah. Honestly, so there's a lot of, I just want you all to be careful, because there are a lot of rumors that are out there. Things like, they're going to level the deck. They were going to add, to the deck. We don't have anything to do with any of that. That's NDOT. But thank goodness for John, so when I heard rumors last week, I just was like, hey, John, can you let me know hearing this? And he said that the thing that it did take them some time because they're needing to find, companies that will bid on shoring up the existing deck so that they can do a partial reopening. Now, Sean's like, does this mean they'll be ready for gala? I'm like, this is all they know. So, it would be nice to have it, but honestly, it's over a year that it's been closed. We're just grateful we have our nested spaces back, the 46 that are underneath the library, because I can't imagine those of us that go in and out every day having to park at the 4th Avenue and go back and forth.
Steps in.
I know, but that's And 100 and let's see, what's the heat index today?
Yeah.
110. So, anyways, that's all okay that I know. I mean, that's is when I get the information, I share it, but I don't know that even NDOT has.
Susan?
We did get news today that McKendree and the LNC Garage, which is where our patrons are parking, have extended the reduced rate from 90 minutes to 120.
Oh, wow.
So-
That's great.
Right, thank you.
So
Is that immediately?
Wow.
That is really,
That's great.
That is
Thank you
really
so much.
helpful.
that was an unprompted,
No, she's been bugging me.
yeah.
so when you have little kiddos coming with parents and, you know, we have bags, we have this, we've gotten several, and I say several lightly, complaints about not that 90 minutes, not when you're going to a story time and this, it's, they're not getting back. If you go even a minute over, then it goes to regular rate. So we requested, asked if they would extend that to 120 minutes because of that situation. And they graciously agreed. So it was immediate. They've already updated the QR codes. So
Those of you who know Steve Handy, send him a note thanking him. I just put it to remember. He's the pastor of McKendree. And if you know him, I'll give you his
Please do.
email. What my last email was for him. Yeah.
And one of the reasons that we asked for that was that Chantel brought back that, you know, the feedback, not only just from customers, but also our staff being stressed about being able to do the program in that amount of time, because there are programs outside of the youth programs in archives or special collections that go for longer. And so taking baby steps, I said to Susan, maybe we could eventually get something, you know, prorated for the day. And she's like, but they're a business for profit. And I'm like, I know, but we're the library. So just happy that we got that for sure.
So do you have a sense of how many library patrons are using those facilities?
I need to ask. I haven't inquired yet,
Yeah.
but I'm sure they have the data, so I'll ask for it.
Anything else?
Nope, I'm good.
Okay. Any other questions for Terri? I asked you about the games because I have a 12-year-old I'm entertaining for 2 weeks. So I'll take advantage of that. Thank you. Sean?
I just wanted to report on a couple things. Last month, we talked about Check Out Nashville, which was the program of businesses around the city who were giving a percentage. And we had 25 businesses participate, and we surpassed our goal and made $12,000 just as a percentage of the earnings of those proceeds from the 25 businesses. And that's really due to our Next Chapter Society is the emerging leaders, and they did all the hustling and did just a fantastic job. They are hosting another event, not a fundraiser, but it is a book club, and I'll just pass this around. Lindsay Rush is a local author and poet, and it will be next Tuesday at Love in Exile. Would love for you all to come. I'll just pass this around. But it's she's just a fun speaker, author, and consider joining or consider inviting anyone you may know. Wanted to also let you know we have the save the dates for our gala coming up. So I will pass those around. Some of you may have already gotten one. If you did and you want another one, take one. If you already have one and don't need another one, that's fine. As a reminder, Ocean Vuong is our author, Vietnamese American, writes poetry and prose. And I always say his poetry his prose is as beautiful as his poetry. Just lovely to read. The two books you may have heard, On Earth We're Briefly Gorgeous, and then The Emperor of Gladness is his newest one. November 6 and 7. November 7 in the morning is the public lecture. In the evening is the gala, and we will be at the library. That's why I was bothering Terri about, will there be parking? But we're already talking about options if there is not parking. So hope that is on your calendar. Again, the Saturday morning is the public lecture. That will be at MLK. And then the Saturday evening, we'll be back at the library. So looking forward to being back there. The last thing, I know Terri mentioned upcoming meetings. The Foundation September meeting is considered our annual meeting, and we would love to invite all of you to attend. We will get an invite out there, and because we're inviting you, it will be made an open meeting. It is September 23rd, and we're doing it first thing in the morning, so we're going to do it actually before the library even opens, so we'll get you information on how that will work. But 8:30 to 10:30, and Chantel, I've been bugging Chantel is the conference center going to be open? And so to be determined. But we will send out information of where the meeting will be and where, how we'll let you in. But September 23rd, if you'll put that on your calendar, that's just a good opportunity for you, for this board to connect and meet with our board. And that's all I have.
Thank you for all you do. It's a lot. Oh, tell them about the meeting we had about the funds that were raised. The funds that were raised for the
Carnegie Society?
Yeah, Carnegie Society.
Yeah,
we did it.
Exactly. So as you know, Joyce and Walter were some of our co-chairs for Carnegie Society, and she concluded her year, but really you never really conclude with the foundation, so we didn't maybe make that really clear. But they met and surpassed their goal. Last year alone, we had 52 new Carnegie Society members. They worked it really hard. So we just had a celebration lunch with the co-chairs, and just was lovely. And we have
6 of us, so there's not Joyce and Walter, but there were 6, and we had a ball doing it and surpassed the monetary goal, all of it.
Our new member goal, they broke all the records.
Congratulations!
And we'll have some great chairs for next year.
Yeah, we have a good group. Jenna Lodge, Sobel, Raver, Lillian Blackshear and Clifton Payne, and I'm blanking. Sorry. It's going to be a really good group. They already have been actually.
Oh, it's the strongest Joyce and Walter.
I know. So we're in great shape. If this is something you're interested in participating in any way, whether that's becoming a member, whether that's helping us in leadership with the group and interested in co-chairing, definitely let me know. The great thing about this, and I know I've said it before, but just to make the connection, this is unrestricted funds for the library. And so when Terri talked about, at the end of the year, the foundation gave us, it's because we have unrestricted funds that particularly last year with Maine being closed, if they weren't restricted to a particular program, we could say, what's the greatest need? And so it's that Carnegie Society, as well as the gala, that brings in those unrestricted funds, that gives us the flexibility to be able to be responsive to things that Metro potentially is not able to fund. So
may not be able to go to the gala, and this is a once-a-year book club meeting, and it was just fantastic. This last year was crowded. It was great. So thank you, because it was a lot of work. Yeah.
Claudia does a great job.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. She really does. She really does. Okay, new business. We have a grant with with State of Tennessee, State Library and Archives, and the Nashville Library as a part of the Metropolitan Government in Davidson County. It will be July 1st through June 30th. Susan, we turn to page 61 with you.
Sure. This is our annual grant that we get from the state of Tennessee, State Library and Archives. And it is for the purchase of materials for the library system. And it's in the amount of $430,500, of which $10,000 of that is federal funds, and it's for disadvantaged. They usually buy large print materials for people who have a hard time seeing. The other $420,500 are just whatever materials that the system needs.
Any questions, comments?
And this is annual.
How long has
So
that
far.
been in place?
Pardon?
How long has that been in place?
As long as I've been here.
Okay.
And I've been here a long time.
And
so.
does the number ever vary?
It has gone up over the years. It has been at this particular amount for a while.
A while.
So if we approve this today, then basically we sign a contract with the state.
When you approve today, then it goes to Metro Council.
Oh, then, right, I'm sorry.
Then it
Because
gets
we're doing
approved.
that. All of our contracts now go to
It,
Metro
it has to
Council for
be
approval.
it has to be signed by this board first before it goes to council.
Metro Council.
And does this cover the cost of the program?
Oh no.
Okay, that's what
I mean, it's materials. You're buying
Right.
materials, so
we buy as much as
we'll buy as much as they give us.
give us. Okay.
Yes.
Good question. Okay, materials not buying the cost, not the cost of the program. Go ahead.
So move.
Okay, motion from Charvers to approve, second.
I'll second it.
Okay, you know what's funny, because you have Rosalind Carpenter in front of your name right here. When I looked
And a
up, I
page.
see in front of your name, it says you're Rosalind. So,
That's not a,
you can't.
that's not a
Every
good
time
help.
I see it, I get a little brain like, okay, that's not right.
It's a trick, it's a
My
test.
brain has to do a little detour. But anyway, we have a second from Kate. No more comments, questions? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposition? Motion passed. Thank you for doing that. NAZA, where's Joshua? There
It's right
you are.
there. Joshua, will you come up to one of the microphones?
Page 81, we're turning to 81.
So I'm new to this, so I don't quite know what to say. But this is for water walkers. This was a direct appropriation from the from Metro Council.
Hear you.
Yeah, it doesn't necessarily just talk loud.
Talk
like in a
loud
regular
so that
voice.
they hear you.
This is for the recording.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is for water walkers, one of our partners who's a direct appropriation from Metro Council to provide summer and after-school services for Edge Hill community students in Edge Hill.
Has this been done before?
Yes, this is a partner that was been working with this year. So they were a new partner this year, and this will be their second year as a NAZA partner.
I wasn't familiar with them, so I went on their website, and I would urge everybody else to do so. It got me really excited about this program,
Yeah.
and I'm glad we're partnering with them. I look forward to seeing
Oh,
the
yeah.
outcome of this year.
Their summer program is what they do best. Is
Right.
where they take the kids out to the lake and do certain things and do leadership programs and stuff out there with those students.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll move. Is it
Second.
Motion from Katie, second from Jarvis. Any other questions, comments, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion is carried.
And I'll just make one note. You said you hadn't spoken before. You just tell Anna you did a fine job.
I will.
Went through faster than ever.
Thank you so much.
I just love Josh. That smile is always on his face. The first time that I was doing a new employee orientation, and Josh was new to the library system. Not only did he not sit in the back row, but he sat up front and he was engaged the entire time, which I have always appreciated. So.
Thank
How
you so
long
much.
have you been at the library?
It'll be 5 years November 1st.
5 years. Where were you before for the library?
Oh, the YMCA.
Lucky us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Josh.
Okay, Susan, you want to talk about salary increase?
Sure. So annually, this time of year, we are blessed with a pay plan increase. And this year, all Metro employees received a 1.7% across the board. As such, our director, Terri Luke, gets that 1.7. Additionally, open range positions received 2.4%, at least for the library. But that is not included as part of the pay plan because of her director status. So anything above the across the board, the library board has to approve. So we are requesting that Terri also get the 2.4% as all of the other open range positions received.
And based upon the evaluation that you did, she did receive.
She passed.
She passed. Yeah. she got the highest raise. And the comments, I'll tell you, were very thoughtful about what you wanted to see Terri do, et cetera. So, yeah.
And it will be effective as of July 1st, like everybody else, if approved by the board.
Questions, comments?
Move to approve.
Second.
Kate, motion. Jarvis, second. Any comments, questions? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Soccer club.
He's up there.
I didn't see you. I'm sorry.
Good afternoon. Thank you to the members of the board. Thank you, Madam Chair, for having me. Thank you to Terri for giving me time on today's agenda. Hopefully by now you've heard me say my name is Andrea Fanta, and I have the best job at Nashville Public Library and in Nashville, which means I get to lead marketing and communications for our library system. I'm here to take you through a campaign that we just wrapped. As always, Terri has created a best practice of us reporting back to the library board. Since marketing generally is an indicator of health for Nashville Public Library, we'll open today's presentation with a small video reel for you all.
The World Cup really has everybody coming together. You know this, Nashville has a great team too, which is why we've made this awesome new limited edition library card. We've got one more goal for you, NPL's Summer Reading Challenge. This is a great way to read books, complete challenges, collect trading cards, and win prizes. It's almost like group stage, no knockouts. Found a good new Neil Stephenson book, part of the Bomb Light series, so looking forward to that. And you got a whole stack already starting ahead of me in the challenge. Get your library card, get reading, and participate in the great Summer Reading Challenge here at Nashville Public Library.
Hi everyone, it's Terri Bowe, District 17 Metro Council member. I wanted to make sure that you knew about this really cool limited edition National Soccer Club library card that the Nashville Public Library and the Boys in Gold have partnered up so that we can get to vote not once, but twice on our library card. Whenever I signed up, I got this really cool lanyard and this awesome poster behind me. You can register for a library card online, or you can go in person to any of the 20 branches that we have across the county. If you're in District 17, you can go to the Edge Hill Library branch or the Pruitt Library branch. If you already have a library card, that's okay. You can go in and swap yours for free. I hope that you'll go in and grab a library card today and discover all the amazing things that our library offers, and join me on the Summer Reading Challenge, happening now through July 31st.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I breathe the mountain air, man. I travel, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere.
Hi, Dido Ronnie. Did you want to sign up for the Summer Reading Challenge? Amazing. Here's your log. Here's your bag. Here's your sticker. I'll put it in your bag for you. Do you also want a brand new NSC library card?
Yeah, who is that?
No one on my team. That was all Donaldson Branch team. Yeah, I did not have to pay anybody to put that suit on. Okay, we are on limited time, so let me move you all through this quickly. Obviously, what's always most important are your questions and reflections. So let's leave as much time as we can for that. Let me start with the basics. This was obviously a customer retention and growth campaign. Citywide, but beginning with fans of Nashville SC. And since we always go after growth and retention, this was also a campaign for current customers. As always, because you have a full-time in-house dedicated marketing communications team, this was an integrated marketing campaign, again, citywide, and we did set a goal of about 2,000 cards. We ran this campaign for 1 month only, and we did tie it both to this limited edition card, but also to Elevate Summer Reading Challenge 2026. So this will be the third time we've partnered with a local sports franchise on a limited edition card as a model to Elevate Summer Reading Challenge. Prior was Preds, and then after that was Sounds. May 2026 really was the ramp-up period with our target audience. We spent a lot of time nurturing this campaign among the Nashville SC fan base, and then did our citywide drop in June 2026. I think the takeaway for this group coming out of May 2026 is that there was an affirming Venn diagram between library fans and Nashville SC fans, but definitely one that we were able to grow even more. So that's always affirming. Again, this was a citywide campaign, and before the citywide drop, we spent a lot of time at Geodis doing match day activations in May, talking to fans about this campaign and giving them a chance to get in on the campaign early. Very briefly, because this is a customer growth or organizational growth and retention campaign for MPL, you get some benefits out of that. So obviously, customer acquisition is always lead acquisition at the macro level for the library system, but then translates into hyper-local lead acquisition, which means that our patrons' clean email addresses that we do not have to pay for map for our citywide marketing, but then also will map to the branch of their choice for the hyperlocal ecosystem. You all have heard me talk before that it's very important out of an understanding for our audience to approach our customers in two ways, at the citywide, more aspirational, system-wide level, but always at the hyperlocal or branch level, because we have very, very loyal bases at each of our branches. Because of the infrastructure that my team negotiated several years back with the foundation, lead acquisition for the library then becomes lead acquisition for the foundation. And of course, customer retention is, we don't want to be feeding the customer funnel if we're hemorrhaging out the other side. And I'm happy to report that we have very little blood or violence happening in terms of our marketing funnel at the library. Again, May at Geodis was a lot of fun. We worked 3 home matches. The real estate that Geodis gave us, that Nashville SC gave us, would have cost a lot of money to a private sector partner. We were on the concourse in stadium and also outside in the Fan Fest area doing tabling. We did get real estate in terms of PSA on the Jumbotron and with the game day announcer. So Nashville SC was really, really, really good to us with this activation. I won't spend a lot of time. You all should not be surprised to see any of these outputs here. Again, you do have a fully integrated marketing agency in-house at Nashville Public Library. And because of the campaign budget, we were able to do a small socials ad buy and also an outdoor buy. So in terms of outcomes, I would have been moderately pleased with 1,800 acquisitions / retentions in a month. My team is very candid with me at all times, and they did ask me why I elected to make this campaign more truncated and not run it for the whole summer season or the whole soccer season. The stars did align for us to take advantage of World Cup fever. I definitely could have listened to my team a little bit more and gone maybe a little bit longer, but you're always trying to kind of strike a balance between a sense of urgency and desirability and, what's hot, get it while you can, and then also accessibility. So all that to say, for a month, I would have been moderately pleased with 1,800. I would have been pleased with 2,000, and here's where we came out at the end of the campaign.
Wow, congratulations.
I'm also very pleased to report that Kyle Barber and the Hermitage branch have agreed to take the remaining inventory and work with a local school in the fall to get those students the remaining stock. So we should surpass goal and we are projected by the fall to hit 2,500. I know this group will have questions, so let me break it down for you just very, very quickly. We did, again, just more than 2,300 cards. 688 of those were Limitless Library students. So students who are Metro public school students who know that they have a relationship with us because of Limitless Libraries, but who don't actually have a card. They and their families responded really, really well to this campaign. About 110 of our new card holders or swap card holders were out of Davidson County, so still in our service area, but not local. About 110 out of service area. And then it looks like we had 799 acquisitions, so purely new cards, and then the rest would be retention. So we always do a pretty decent mix of acquisition and retention. And I was really, really pleased with the Limitless Libraries engagement, especially over the summer. And that really is because we were out there at Geodis, schlepping at these tables. So it went well for us. I do want to say, since 2022, Marcom generated campaigns with limited edition cards have generated about 9,500 either new acquisitions for you all or a retention touch point. I think that's a notable number. Great ROI, so about 9,500 in 4 years off of, I would say, 4 or 5 campaigns. As always, I do want to run a very quick SWOT for you all. We also then exploited World Cup fever and went back to Geodis twice and worked 2 of their World Cup watch parties, which got us to higher numbers. The choice of collaborator was also exquisite. It does not hurt to be partnering, obviously, right now with one of the hottest franchises in town during World Cup. And it doesn't hurt to partner with a local organization that really puts its money where its mouth is when it comes to community engagement. So they really were a stellar collaborator for us. The creative obviously was a big winner for us. So this is what the card looked like. If we had not had this creative, I don't think Nashville SC would have had as much confidence in us as they expressed that they did. I know that we would not have attracted as many busy fans on a concourse or in a fan fest area who actually came to the table. So the creative was a big winner for us.
That was internally?
That is our designer,
Wow.
Our designer, photog Eddie Patton. Our staff champions did a really marvelous job for us with this campaign. I do want to, even if it takes me a minute, do some special call-outs. So I don't know if you all will ever have occasion to meet her, but Gracie at Hermitage, she's on the children's staff there. She did 2 tabling activations at Geodis. She just has this really remarkable way of talking to patrons and families that's just, it's very opposite me. It's very soothing and calm and gentle. It was just really, I worked the table next to her. She was really wonderful. Actually, Annie Herlocker, she's the one who had the idea to do a lanyard. So this is the commemorative lanyard and poster that you got when you got your card. Pat Bashir and her team really leaned in. We actually did a World Cup watch party at Plaza Mariachi. That was really fun. The adult literacy team leaned in. Hadley Park leaned in. You saw the videos. Madison leaned in. Corey Frederick is the hand model in the video there with the mayor. He helped work some tabling. The East Branch team was really remarkable. So they actually worked with the local nearby school library to do 170 cards for summer scholars, Metro school scholars during their summer program. And then I do, just as a point of personal privilege, want to recognize the Donaldson team. That was one of the videos that you saw. Ryan Darrow actually worked 2 match day activations and then came out to both World Cup watch parties until 11 o'clock at night with me. He is really great to watch. If you've ever seen him work a table, you are not going to go away not having a library card, or you're not going to walk away not knowing the first top 3 things to do as a library customer. So he was really great to watch. So staff engagement was also a real strength for us. And then, of course, the community response. We did not have to intentionally go after influencers for this campaign. As long as I'm at the helm, at least for right now, I don't foresee any influencers ever being pay to play. That speaks to our credibility and our reputation in the community. It happened organically, which is always really affirming. In terms of weaknesses and opportunities, I'll reframe it and talk about a campaign 2.0. We do have an opportunity to reduce friction, whereby if somebody wants a limited edition, special edition card, they don't have to actually come into the branch to actually get that creative. Right now, that is the case. Ryan Darrow did actually signal a pretty quick pivot we could make for a future campaign to be able to reduce that friction, and I think that we would see even better numbers coming out of that. And then again, as always, you all know that you have a team operating with a steady eye to growth and retention. That really is because of the example that Terri has set. She obviously has a passion for customer service. She's spoken to you all a lot about that. When I hear Terri talk about customer service, I hear in part growth and retention as indicators of health for the organization. So that's it. I'm pleased with the campaign. I do want to thank my team and recognize my team for everything that they poured into this, as always. It would mean a lot to me if you all would send them a note, or any of the staff that I've recognized, if you would send them a note and tell them thank you. And as always, I'm ready for your reflections and questions, if you have any for me.
I have 2 quick questions. The first is I saw on Walgreens yesterday that they've cut the price of their FIFA T-shirts by 80%. So I'm wondering if, as you continue this campaign, you're going to say, still free for 1 more month.
And get your last 600 or whatever it is out of the door.
We wrapped at the end of June, and then the last 180 or so will go to the school, hopefully near Hermitage Branch. But
I do have one serious question, because I haven't seen it.
Yeah.
The art is really cool. Does it say on the back Nashville Public Library card?
So that was actually, I'm glad you brought that up. I thought somebody would. That was an artistic decision I made to not have our name on the front of the card, and it was something in her own gentle, kind way that Terri pointed out was not the right decision. So moving forward, we'll have Nashville Public Library on all of the front of our cards.
So can you get reissue of old special edition cards? Can I get another I Read Banned Books one?
Vintage comes back. So the I Read Banned Books was so popular, we did end up making that a permanent offering. We still have some inventory of the Dolly.
That's terrible.
We can, if you'd like, we still have some of the Dolly card that we can get you. And we do, I think, still have some of this. We did a very limited run of the La 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 card when Kate DeCamillo was the honoree. We might have one that we can still get you. I don't think we have any Sounds cards left or any Preds cards left. Yeah. And if you want a National SC card, I know someone who might be able to hook you up.
I know it'll be the Super Bowl in 28. I don't know what happens in 27.
We're talking about that. Yep. Another exploitation opportunity.
I just want to congratulate you all. You continue to surpass yourself, and I don't know how. Your crew team is so creative, and I know you lead the team, and you keep giving everybody else the kudos, but you leading the team, and thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Communication is a hard thing.
Thank you. It's a privilege.
You know your audience, though. You really doing a fabulous job.
Thank you. Thanks.
Thank you. Next up, Sarah. Yes.
That'd be great. Hi, everybody. I'm Sarah Morse. I'm the manager here at the East Branch Library. Welcome. Thank you for coming to visit us today. East is the second oldest Nashville Public Library branch that's still standing, and we're the 4th smallest. So thank you for joining us. Even though we're a neighborhood branch, we do have we have more people on staff than a lot of the other neighborhood branches. We have a children's library associate. We have a teen librarian. We have me for adult services, and then we have 3 circulation staff that help us keep everything moving. We are right across the street from East Middle and East High School, so it's kind of our quiet time of year right now. But once school starts, we see massive numbers of kids after school, middle schoolers and high schoolers. Last year, during the school year, we had 11,554 teens do the daily sign-in each day. Now, we average 70 kids a day, but we probably see 200 or 250 kids over the school year, individual teens, and that's because, they have after-school activities. We won't see them for 3 months because they're doing wrestling, and then they'll come back. But our teen librarian and the studio MPL staff were able to offer 511 different activities. We'll often have multiple activities going in a day. We'll have a studio mentor here doing music, and then we'll also have a craft program. So we offered 511 activities last school year, and we had 3,209 kids participate. But then we also offer children's programs. Our children's library associate did 108 story times and in-house programs last year with 4,990 kids and their parents in attendance. And then she also did 29 outreach events, going out into the community to daycares, preschools, local neighborhood events, and spoke with 2,392 folks. Now, that is just what Simone White, our children's library associate, did. I stripped out the numbers for the traveling children's librarian, who we had 1 day a week, and we treated her like a special teams person. She mostly did outreach. She would do 3 or 4 outreach events every day because we didn't really treat her as the person in charge. So we were able to staff the building, and we could send her out to just do that all the time. Now that that position has gone away, Simone is starting to pick that up, but she does have to be here and handle collections and that kind of thing. So I think she's already started doing some of those, but we're probably not going to visit quite so many locations every month. It's probably going to drop down to every other month. But yeah, we're happy to have those 2 on staff and really keep us running. For adults, last school year I had 148 book librarian appointments, and that was mostly job search. It was 120 of that was job search. The others were tech help, but most of the help that people need really for the job search really is tech help. Signing up you got to sign up for an email address. You've got to, type up your resume. You've got to learn how to attach it to apply to different jobs. And I felt that that's been a pretty good use of my time. I feel like when we offer adult services programs, we haven't gotten a ton of attendance, and I think it's just because our neighborhood skews a little young. I think people either have young kids or they themselves are young, and they're not really, I don't know, but we're not getting a ton of attendance for that, but there is really a need for those one-on-one appointments, and so we kind of focus on that. So East is pretty strong in terms of circulation, terminal activity, and visits. Last year we had 149,674 visits, so that averages about 400 a day. Now, I will say we have a lot of kids running in and out after school, but in the summer it still runs about 325 visits a day. So we're not down that much when we don't have the kids running in and out. So and we're lucky to have the staff that we have just to kind of be able to keep an eye on what's going on down here and what's going on upstairs. And our summer reading, this year, East Branch patrons have read 21,346 days. That's what they've logged. We're still short of our goal, but we've still got time. We've got plenty of time. We've got people coming back from vacation who might log 30 days when they get here. So we're hopeful, but But thank you all so much for coming to see us and for allowing me this opportunity. Yeah, thank you. Questions?
For all you do, my goodness.
Any questions for Sarah?
Gosh.
Sarah loves her neighborhood. She has been here, I don't know how many years at East, but as long, at least 7. So loves to serve the customers.
Carnegie's over here one night too. We met over there.
Yeah.
We sure did. So that they could see your location.
Yeah.
In a great location.
Thank you.
Yes.
So much.
Any comments? There's nothing else. Move to adjourn. Second. I don't think it needs a second.
You don't need.
Y'all don't need the second. I forgot. All right.